Greetings and welcome back to Sentinels of the Multiverse. So in this episode, we will be going against the second villain in the basic set, which is Citizen Dawn. She's one of the more difficult villains. And I believe she corresponds kind of to Apocalypse from Marvel Comics. She is the leader of the Citizens of the Sun, and while it doesn't specifically call her a mutant, she developed her powers as she grew up and has attracted other powered people. And she basically wants to rule over the normals, just kind of like Apocalypse and even to a lesser extent Magneto does. But yeah, she believes that she is a member of like a superior race and has created her little Citizens of the Sun. And the environment in which she rules is Insula Primalis. It is a volcanic island in the Arctic Circle, so it stays fairly lush despite the extreme temperature. And it has a lot of jungle and prehistoric monsters. And the heroes we're going to take this episode will be the 5 we did not last time. And we do not have her nemesis, so we are just going to throw in the others. We're going to start with Ra. He is the god of the sun, and he is actually the embodiment of the Egyptian god. And so he's another... we've basically got the god of the sun versus leader of the citizens of the sun. So he's going to put her in her place. He's the god of the sun, and he's basically saying, no, you aren't the leader of the citizens of the sun. We're also going to bring Tempest. Now, he is a Marinian. That's an alien species that was... his planet was basically conquered by Grand Warlord Voss, and he is basically on Earth looking for people to help fight and protect the multiverse. And he has weather control powers and is aquatic in nature. So he's kind of like Aquaman and Thor combined, because he does a lot of lightning damage, a lot of attacks that hit multiple targets. He also has some healing and utility. He can actually speak to fish. We are also bringing Visionary. Now, she's a psychic. She can do a lot of deck manipulation, like foreseeing what cards are coming from like the villain or the environment, moving cards from the top of the deck to the bottom for them, stacking their deck a little bit, basically. And she can control the discard pile some by basically pulling cards out of the discard and putting them back in the deck. She can help other players get cards faster. She can manipulate her own deck a little bit. She can manipulate some of the other opponents as well with her mind, and distract them, and she can even protect herself from damage and do some psychic damage. She's kind of a Jean Grey, Professor Xavier type character. And then we have Fanatic. Now, Fanatic is a character who got a hold of some religious relics, a breastplate and a sword, and now she has angelic wings. And she believes she's an angel now and chosen protector. She kind of fights a little bit like Wonder Woman, in my opinion, is how I envision it. But the theme of the character is more like Warrior Nun Ariella. But yeah, she has a lot of offensive attacks. She can neutralize some people, and she can do some sacrifice type plays to protect the others. And she has one card called End of Days that basically can clear out every card, allies and enemies as well. Basically cleaning the board if they get overwhelmed. And the last one we're bringing is Haka. Now, Haka is a Maori. He is from New Zealand, And he is kind of a combination of Wolverine and the Hulk, because he was killed and came back to life and cast out from his tribe for that. But he's basically immortal. He loves battle. He gets into a lot of fights and things, and he is a pretty powerful character. He's one of the more powerful characters. And he can heal himself, protect himself from damage, do more damage. He has a rampage attack that will actually damage his allies a little bit. But yeah, he's a pretty savage character, starting out, the Savage Haka. So I just kind of envision him like a smarter Hulk, or a little bit like Wolverine with less antisocial nature. But let's jump in here. The world belongs to the citizens of the sun. You shall burn under the baleful gaze of the sun. Alright, now, she has a fairly interesting mechanic. Like I said, she's one of the more difficult opponents, and actually coming after her with 5 makes the fight even a little bit harder, especially on her home turf. So, she starts with some citizens in play, based on the number of heroes she's facing. And at the start of a villain turn, if there are 5 or more citizens in the trash, she will flip. Now, she can only flip this way once per game. At the end of the villain turn, she will do damage to the person with the highest hit points. She does energy damage. Now, when she flips, she merges with the power of the sun and becomes immune to damage. So the heroes cannot win while she's on this side, because you have to defeat her to win. And she will flip back if there are 4 or more citizens in play. And if I'd brought less people, that number would be lower. It'd be 2. At the end of the villain turn, she plays an extra card, and she has some fairly nasty cards. So there are 2 strategies of dealing with her. One is to prevent her from ever flipping by not letting 5 citizens go in the trash. And the other is to do a controlled flip. Now, to do a controlled flip, you want 5 citizens in the trash while there are still 4 citizens in play. So that means it's a lot easier with like only 3 heroes, because you only need 2 citizens in play. But you can just keep it down to 2 citizens, and as soon as there's 5, at the start of her turn, she'll flip. And then because there's 2 in play, she'll flip right back. But in a 5-player game, doing the controlled flip is really painful, because that means you have 4 citizens out there, and the citizens can really get nasty when they stack up. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to try to let her never flip. And to do that, I have several tactics to use. Tempest has Into the Stratosphere. So he can take a non-indestructible villain card other than a character card and put it back on top of the villain deck. Now, that won't save us from the effects of a citizen, because citizens have end of turn effects. So usually when they come out, they're going to have their effect the turn they come out. Then he'll put it back on top of the deck. Next turn it'll come right back out and have its effect again. But it also controls Dawn's deck a little bit by not by controlling what card she's going to play next. Other than that, that's pretty much all Tempest can do to deal with them. She is a more effective means of dealing with them, because what she can do, she can kind of neutralize a few of the damage dealers or slow them down. She can use her precognition to control the villain deck to make sure not too many citizens come up. She can also do a brain burn to put the villain trash on the bottom of the villain deck. It hurts a little bit, but it will keep her from flipping, because we can keep her from having 5 in her discard or trash. She can use a suggestion to pull 2 cards from the trash, but one of them will come back into play, because we have to put it on top of the deck. So she has a few more effective means of dealing with them. Now, Fanatic has a few that can help, like Zealous Offense. As long as she's doing at least 3 damage a turn, she can keep this in play. And at the start of a turn, select 2 cards that can't deal damage. So she can shut down some of the damage-dealing ones. Chastise makes a target immune to damage, but it cannot deal damage. So she can, like, put them in a penalty box in a way. But not all of the citizens have damage-dealing effects, so that's not always the most effective way to deal with them. The most effective way to deal with them is Haka, because Haka has 1 card he can get out, Savage Mana, and whenever Haka destroys a target, he can put that card beneath this card. So he can take out the citizens, removing them from play, but not making them go into the trash. Now, there is a risk with this, and now eventually he can destroy all the cards underneath this to do toxic damage and do a real major hit. There's a risk with this because Dawn has some really nasty cards, and the most nasty one, or nastiest, sorry, is Devastating Aurora. Destroy all hero ongoing cards. Destroy all equipment cards. Destroy all environment cards. That gets rid of every bit of setup we've ever done. And it would get rid of Savage Mana and throw all of her citizens into her trash. So that's a risk, and that's where Visionary can help him out by making sure that card doesn't come up when we don't want it to. We can keep throwing that to the bottom if we can. Now, these citizens can get pretty nasty, as you will see, and I'm going to go for not letting her flip. But chances are I will not be able to plan ahead for the environment or her cards, and we might end up with some effect where she ends up flipping when I'm not ready for it, and we have to try and survive. But we'll see how it goes. So the first citizen she gets is Summer. This one hits 2 heroes with fire damage, the ones with the most cards in play. And then we have Autumn. She destroys all ongoing cards controlled by the hero with the lowest hit points. And then we have Spring, who heals every citizen. And Citizen Dawn has the citizen keyword. And then Citizen Anvil, who reduces damage dealt to citizens. And if Hammer is ever in the trash, he will put him back into play. And then she gets her card play and gets out Citizen Winter. So she's got the full seasons out. This one hits everybody for cold. So this is going to get a little painful because Dawn's going to hit a person, Summer's going to hit someone, and Winter is going to hit everyone. Let's see, let's have Summer hit Ra and Fanatic. And we will say that Tempest has the least. We're going to make sure Tempest stays at the lowest right now. Because Visionary tends to use more ongoing. Tempest does have some ongoing, but he can function without them. Alright, so now she's done quite a bit to us with her initial volley, got out all 4 of the seasons and Anvil to protect them. So we're going to have a hard time getting rid of these. So we need to take out Anvil, and we really need to take out Autumn, and Winter is a pretty nasty one. Does Haka does not have the card he needs yet. So what we're going to do is start with a Fire Blast, because we can do a chunk to Anvil and get him ready to be taken out. Now, if we don't take him out this turn, Spring is going to heal him up some. And then Ra's power is Pyre. He deals 1 target 2 fire damage. So Ra went straight after Anvil. Unleashed a Fire Blast and a Pyre on him. Now, he can't really hurt anybody while Anvil is in play, so I need to get rid of Anvil first. With the Grievous Hailstorm, if I get it out, it'll only do 1 point. So I'm actually going to have to waste a Lightning Slash on Anvil to get rid of him. I'd have paid attention to the fact I'd had a lightning slash, I could have had my pyre hit like Citizen Dawn. Alright, so now he can damage everybody. Now one thing I haven't covered yet is these are just regular cards. But some things say non-character cards. Basically, character cards are double-sided cards. Like this one, if Tempest loses all of his health, he flips to this side. These villains, you know, they have a double-sided card. These are considered character cards. So anything that says can't affect character cards means those. Alright, so I'll go ahead and draw a card. I did a little bit of damage that Citizen Spring is basically going to undo. But I can actually end up taking out quite a few of these. Let's see, what is Fanatic going to do? I need to plan ahead a little bit. She can neutralize somebody. Zealous Offense won't do her any good because right now she only does 2 damage. She can't keep it in play. She has to be able to do 3. But I could get out Chastise and neutralize 1, like say Winter. So that's one that I would never really have to get rid of as long as I kept the Chastise going. But the Chastise does damage to me. So I'd basically be holding her until Haka gets out what he needs to get out. Or we tear down Citizen Dawn. But yeah, I think that's what she's going to do. She's going to Chastise. Haka can do a little bit of damage. Well, he can do a little bit more. He could elbow smash and something else. So he could take out Spring. So I think right now the better thing for her to do, actually he can take out Autumn. We'll deal with Spring staying in. Autumn is a bigger threat. We're going to do a precognition to look at the villain deck and see what's coming out. Alright, Citizen Battery would be coming out. He does damage to 1 target. That Dawn will hurt herself, but will play cards faster. And this one makes us discard. So actually, sad as it is, we're going to want Citizen Battery to be the top one. We don't want those coming out. Alright, and I will be right back. My food delivery is here. I'll resume recording when I'm done, when I grab it. Alrighty, sorry about that. I was actually pretty damn hungry. And I like to at least explain why the edits happen. But back to what we were doing. We want Channel the Eclipse on the very bottom. Now, she can use her power to let one player draw 2 cards and discard a card. And we're going to use that on Haka because we want him to try and get to Savage Mana a little quicker. And no such luck there. Now he has to discard 1. Let's get rid of the Haka of Shielding. Alright, now for Fanatic, her plan was to get out Chastise on Winter. Now Haka's going to be able to do 3 points with an elbow smash, and then he could use do 2 points with Crush. And we want to get rid of Autumn. So I'm actually going to go after Citizen Dawn, because Haka can take out Autumn entirely by himself. Alright, so now Haka, I really would like to get out the Mare, but then I could only do 2 points. I'm going to elbow smash Autumn. No, you will not be taking away our ongoing cards. And then crush her. Yeah, the Mare It only does 2 points as well as crush, but it allows him to draw a card. Alright, this is going to be a little painful. We either have to destroy ongoing cards. We take 4 damage. Destroying an ongoing card would drop that down to 2. And only Fanatic has an ongoing card in play, and I do not want to get rid of it. So we're all going to take 4 toxic damage from the environment. Yeah, so the plant life is getting a little aggressive here. We need to move this battle further afield. Alright, so now Citizen Battery steps up to the bat, and he's going to go after Haka, most likely. Who is considered to have the first most cards in play? That's what I would like to know. It doesn't say. But, oh, it's Fanatic. We're going to say it's Ra, because we want Haka to be the one hit by Citizen Battery. Citizen Dawn's only down a couple of points now. Citizen Spring will be keeping her alive for a bit. Alright, time to start getting some things in play. We've got 2 citizens in the trash. We took care of Anvil and Autumn. Spring is going to be slowing us down, so we actually need to get rid of her. But what he can do, rather than dishing damage out this turn, I can neutralize Summer, so we do not have to deal with her. We'll get out Flesh of the Sun God. And this is also useful for this environment, because it does a lot of fire damage. Flesh of the Sun God makes Ra immune to fire, and as a power, he can make every hero card immune to fire damage. So that protects all of us from fire damage. Alright, so he can start laying on a little bit more damage on Citizen Dawn by getting out his Gene-Bound Shackles, because that lets him do extra damage to the villain target with the highest hit points. Now he'll be hitting everybody, but right now Spring will be reducing that, or undoing that. Alright, let's see, I could do more damage to Spring and to Battery, as well as Dawn. But I think right now I might be better off. Yeah, it's going to take a while for Ra to get that out. Putting that on Fanatic to ensure that she could keep Zealous Offense in play. We'll give her Twist the Ether. And you can play it next to any target. You can modify the type of damage it does and increase or reduce it. I could also throw that, say, against Dawn so that she does less damage. But I think right now I'm better off putting it on Fanatic so I can control the damage she does. And we're going to continue to let Haka draw cards, because we need to get Savage Mana out here. Ground Pound is another useful one. Let's get rid of Enduring Intercession for now. Alright, she gets another Precognition. Now, I do not know what her next card is going to be right now. Yeah, she's going to take 2 damage. And I can modify this. Now, if I turn it to fire and do no damage to myself, then it is going to make the card go away. But what I can do is change it to cold and reduce it so that she's not hurting herself as bad, keeping that in play. And now she has dealt 1 damage this turn. So with 1 attack with this, even if I don't boost the damage, and so we're just going to concentrate on Dawn with her. But we're going to change her damage here to Radiant for now and increase it. She is just going all out with this exorcism of Dawn, because she's obviously possessed if she thinks, you know, she's the leader of the citizens of the sun and rightful ruler of Earth. Now that we've got Absolution, Absolution is another means to deal damage with her. But with the Twist of Ether, the damage bonus with this, since you saw it changed 1 and 1 to 2 and 2, the Absolution is just a single heavy hit of 3. Boosting it by 1 point would make it 4. If I get other boost out there, her Exorcism still stays the best power. Alright, so he needs to start getting a little bit of setup. I'm actually going to put... I could put out the ground pound, but I'm not worried about damage at this point. We're going to put out the melee so that I can keep working on Dawn. Yeah, I can't quite take out Spring. I could wound Spring, but I want to keep just piling on the damage on Dawn. We're just going to right now try and power through her healing until I can get the means to prevent her from going to the discard. So yeah, I got out my melee and smacked Dawn upside the head. Now we're in an obsidian field. Now her exorcism is really powerful, because this increases all damage by 1, and at the end of any of their turns, a player can discard cards to get rid of it. So say Haka could discard cards so that the villains and the environment don't get to make use of it. So we did move the battle away from those toxic plants. Alright, now she's going to, every citizen is going to be healing 2 points a turn, Citizen Spring and her Luminous Leadership. So we've got a lot of healing to overcome now. We'll make Tempest the highest hit points. This is going to hurt him a little bit. It doesn't matter, Ra, because both of us are immune to fire. And Citizen Battery goes after Visionary. Alright, so now I'm going to get out the Staff of Ra. It'll heal me some. And it also boosts my damage. It increases the damage I do by 1, and I can use it, fling it at somebody for 3 projectile damage. But right now I think I'm still going to keep making us immune to fire damage. It'd be nice if Rob could become a damage dealer, but this will work for now. And he's going to keep that in play, because it is going to help Tempest quite a bit. Because Tempest can get out a Grievous Hailstorm and do some serious damage across the board. Especially to Dawn. Because this would normally do 2 cold damage. Now it's going to be 3 because of the Obsidian Field. And 5 to Dawn. So we moved out to the Obsidian Field, and Tempest unleashed a savage hailstorm. Just about crippled, sent Summer and Spring both to their knees, basically. Winter shrugged it off. Alright, we are going to use Precognition to see what's coming up next. Next would have been Citizen Dare. He increases the damage we take. And Citizen Assault wasn't far behind. That hits every person. We actually are going to let her play Healing Light. It will restore all the citizens to their maximum value and heal her for 10. That's fine. And we are going to put Assault, or actually Dare, on the very bottom. Now Dare can't be one of the originals. That's one of the things it said on the card. And we're going to have Haka keep drawing cards. There, he's got his Savage Mana. Now we can start getting rid of these people. Let's get rid of the Haka of Shielding. Alrighty. So she did a little bit of precognition and was able to help us plan our battle so that 2 more citizens weren't joining the fray just yet. Alright, so we are going to shut down Battery. And Summer. And now that we have the Zealous offense, Ra can go on the offensive. Now, we'll let ourselves take some damage this turn. We're going to change that to cold and reduce it because we are basically trying to keep Citizen Winter chastised, so we're getting a little bit of cold damage from that. And we will get out Undaunted because that reduces damage when we take heavy damage and also completely negates when we only take 1 point. But we're going to keep attacking Dawn, trying to overcome her healing, going full Radiant for the rest of this turn, and increasing it by 1 for the rest of this turn. Yeah, that was a significant amount of damage right there. Nope, we need Haka to do more damage. Because Haka is going to get out his Savage Mana. So now he will be doing 3 points of damage with this. I can get rid of Citizen Spring. So that cuts down on the healing. And I believe the only person who's going to do damage is Dawn. The environment, yeah, because she's drawing a healing card, so she's just going to do her end of phase. We've got all Winter and Battery and Summer locked down. But there is a risk that something really painful can come out of here, like the River of Lava, or an enraged T-Rex, or even another primordial plant life. So I think we need to get rid of that Obsidian Field. I've got enough cards. Because we're all getting to about the halfway mark. We could take one fairly big hit. But it's still going to take us a while to get this. And there's no telling what she can be drawing. I can't be controlling her constantly, unfortunately. So yeah, let's get this out of play. We will get rid of one of our duplicate Tomokos. And 1 Haka of Restoration. Alright, and yeah, I'm glad I got rid of it. We got a River of Lava. This is going to, we get to choose whether we want to destroy equipment cards. Any hero that does not is going to take 5 fire damage. Oh, what am I thinking? We're immune to fire. Skip that. Thankfully, Ra had planned ahead for us. So yeah, I could have left that Obsidian Field for another turn, but that's fine. All of these were going to heal up because I knew what the next card was. But that did cut down on the damage she does. Alright, I could actually leave this in play, but all we have to do is discard the top 3 cards of our deck to get rid of it. So Ra needs to actually start going on the offensive. We need to start tearing down Dawn and getting stuff down to where Haka can take it out. Haka will be able to do 3 points of damage to 2 separate targets. So if we get Summer down 1 point or Battery down 4 points, we can deal with them, even though they're locked down, and start removing them. But then again, there's still that risk if she comes up with the one that gets devastating Aurora. So maybe we should just focus on Dawn and try and power her down. Yes. Alright, so we'll do a living conflagration on Dawn. And actually... yeah, he will do damage directly to Dawn. Yeah, playing the living conflagration did damage to her, and I could use its power to do 1 fire as opposed to 2, but I get to draw a card. And actually, there's no reason for him never to draw a card. Same for Tempest, I believe. Alright, now I can get out my Electrical Storm. This will do damage to people every turn. Yeah, because he's going to do enough to get the stuff down to where Haka can deal with it, I believe. And he's going to be really doing damage to Dawn. So he's going to continue the Hailstorm, even though the Obsidian Field has been overflowed with a river of lava at this point. See, I could do up to 3 targets with that. It's only 2 damage. I don't really want to get... Summer's not a threat. Battery really isn't either, but I can get him down to where I don't have to worry about the Zealous offense. So yeah, let's do that. We will hit Dawn. We will hit Battery. And we will stop dealing damage, because we don't want to take out Summer. We want Haka to do that. And now we can start, Visionary can start enlightening, using Enlightenment on Ra to get some other useful cards out. Alright, he's got a staff in play, but I've got 2 Wrathful Gazes. I'll get rid of one of them. Alright, now without the other cards in, we're going to keep shutting down these 2 even though they're about to go away. Actually, no. We're going to shut down Winter because we're going to get rid of Chastise. No. And we're going to get out Absolution, because now this will enable us to keep Zealous offense in play. Well, no, it'll do 4. We could do 4 that way because of Twist the Ether. That's correct. But yeah, we are going to hit Dawn directly for some Radiant damage. Yep, we're going to keep it Radiant and increase it by 1. Alright, so Haka is going to get out his, how do I pronounce that? Tayaha? I believe it's Tayaha. I'll have to check that later, but I think that's a Tayaha. I've never actually known the pronunciation, but I did look it up, and it is a traditional Maori staff weapon, but I think it's Tayaha. Alright, so we'll get that out. So now that we can hit 2 targets for 3 damage each, we can take out Summer and Battery. So that's 2 citizens that won't make it to the discard, or the trash. Oh, Punish the Weak. We get that out, we can really start thinning out the citizens. Alright, we're all going to discard cards. We're basically trying to move the battle away from this river before we get overrun by the river of lava. It came on us rather suddenly from the Obsidian Fields. And we've moved back to the Obsidian Fields. Though right now Dawn, and depending on what card she draws, is the only thing that's going to hurt us. Oh, this is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt. That's a lot of setup down the tubes, and she's going to flip next turn if we can't do 55 points of damage in 1 round. because she got rid of all the, everything. Now the Zealous offense, thankfully, still neutralized Winter for a turn. But yeah, let's see. She does not have the ability to pull these out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 in there. And I have no way to keep her from flipping, so we are just going to have to go really ballistic on her. Alright, so I'm going to summon another staff. That allows me to draw a card. Gives me another summon staff. I'm going to use it again because it still allows me to play a card after I draw. This helps me get stuff in my hand. Alright, so I'm going to play this staff. It's going to heal me a little bit. And I'm going to throw this staff right at Dawn. I am not happy with what she did. Because that staff is coming right back to me. Alright, so we need to pour on some damage. Alright, let's just do a lightning slash directly on Dawn. And bring up a squall. She needs to get cards quickly. Let's see. She can get her Undaunted back out. Haka can neutralize damage for a turn. So yeah, let's go ahead and get Foresight out. We put one in our hand, one on top of our deck, and one on the bottom. Well, let's get the Mind Spike. Put a Cerebral Hemorrhage on top and one on the bottom. That was not the most useful cards I could have had up here. Actually, if I hadn't started doing setup with other characters... She got a Foresight out. I don't mind losing that. I think the smarter choice is to put out End of Days. Well, no, because that'll get rid of Citizen Winter. And at this point, we need to keep Citizens in play because we have to wait until she gets 4 back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get Undaunted out and work on Dawn a little bit more. You may have wiped us all out. I am not daunted by that. Because Haka is about to neutralize damage. He can neutralize damage for 2 turns if we can get enough citizens back into play to make her flip. So I could do a ground pound this turn. Discard 2 cards. The Punish the Weak, because it no longer matters for trying to use Savage Mana. And an Elbow Smash. And let's just smack Dawn directly. Now this environment is shut down because of Ground Pound. It's Pterodactyl Thief. That would destroy all equipment cards and then start doing damage to us based on the equipment cards it destroys. So we do want to get rid of that before we start getting equipment cards out. But yeah, she's going to flip, and she's going to stay this way until she gets 3 more citizens out. Well, there's one, but this is one that makes us discard each turn. That's a painful one. There's another, and this one destroys an ongoing card every turn. And these two have synergy. This one will destroy all ongoing cards by the same hero. She'll make us each discard 2 cards. So these are 2 we really don't want to have to suffer through. Because Ground Pound is about to go away. But thankfully it stopped Winter first, who was the only one who dealt damage. Let's see, the only ongoing card in play is either Visionaries, Fanatics, or Hakas. We can let Haka's go away because it's done its purpose anyway. But we're all going to have to discard 2 cards, which is really going to suck because that's going to mean that if these 2 play cards, they're not going to have many more options. Alright, Flame Spike is not going to be useful. I'm not going to have 2 powers in play, I don't think. And I'm going to keep... Well, I will eventually. Drawn to the Flame. That does damage based on villain ongoing cards. Right now, there's only 1. Or Wrathful Gaze. That's the least useful. Grievous Hellstorm. Rest the Mind. One of the End of Days. Oh, he's going to wipe himself out, getting another ground pound out. This sucks. Alright, Haka, battle. Now we all have to discard 1 more. Yeah, 1 of the Flame Spikes. The Electrical Storm, because Tears is just going to get rid of that. The Mind Spike. The Smite the Transgressor. And the Haka of Restoration. Let's get rid of Ground Pound. Alright, so that's not an ongoing card. I can get it out. Now they're going to be healing every turn. Maybe I should have gotten out... Well, Flesh of the Sun God's an ongoing. Let's go ahead and get ready to get rid of Sweat. Oh, I should have gone after the Thief. What was I thinking? No, he's got this under control. It's going to make me get rid of the Reclaim from the Deep. But I'm going to Flash Flood to get rid of that Thief. And do a little bit of damage to everybody. She's going to get out the decoy. Now this will allow her to have an extra card, one that she can... Oh, Suggestion. Suggestion, put the Levitation on top of the deck. So if she can make it 1 more round, she can make sure another citizen comes out. If I do Holy Nova, Sweat is dying. That'll allow us to keep cards and stop losing ongoing. That's worth it. Because ongoing is how we're going to stay alive. And being able to draw cards. Alright, and no reason for her to use her ability, so we're just going to skip that. There's nothing to hit. And we will get out another ground pound. Or, no, we will get out a Dominion. We will try and survive another turn without the ground pound. Because the Dominion, if these cards get destroyed, will help him get cards more in his hand faster. We got a T-Rex. It's probably going to go after Ra. Yeah. So T-Rex came up and took on Ra after these citizens ambushed us. Sweat and tears. Alright, return with the dawn. At the end of the turn, it'll shuffle the trash and bring 1 citizen back. Brings out Truth. He's the only one who can be killed while he's in play. And damage is reduced to him. Alright, so she's going to flip back next turn. It's whether or not we can survive. Alright, so we've all got to discard one card. That's fine. Right now, she's only got one. She's got 2 ongoing, so that's actually become a pretty good power. Let's get rid of an Inferno. I could actually get rid of her 2 ongoings. So yeah, let's actually get rid of Reclaim from the Deep. She will get rid of Rest Mind. No, I could use that. Well, yeah, we'll get rid of that for now. And we will actually get rid of the Aegis, because she has... Yeah, she's at 15 life. It won't come into play anytime soon. And he's not going to be able to play the ground pound this turn. So let's get rid of the Haka of Restoration. Battery comes out. So next turn, she's going to flip. I've just got to survive 1 turn. If I have some means to make Haka draw, which I do with her, we can get a ground pound out and survive a turn. So I am going to get out. That would do 2 fire damage to every target. Yeah, I'm going to get out the Drawn to the Flame. Maybe I should have done Flesh to the Sun God and used it, because the only one I can really hurt right now is Truth. I can start whittling him down. He's going to heal up some, but we need to start whittling him down. Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead. So the Drawn to the Flame was a wasted play. I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of... I'm going to do some damage to Truth. And I'm going to get rid of the Return to the Dawn. We don't want her bringing more stuff out. Get rid of her Luminous Leadership. They're not going to be able to heal. And his power is not going to do anything because Truth negates 1 point. So I'm not even going to use it. He's going to end up discarding this anyway. Alright, she's going to use Suggestion, so I know what her next card play is going to be. Her next card play is going to be Citizen Spring, and we're also going to pull out Luminous Leadership, because that's one of the least threatening cards in here. And we're going to put Spring on top of the deck. And I'm going to let Haka draw some cards so we can get a ground pound to neutralize the T-Rex and Winter. Those are the 2 that are really going to hurt. Alright. Doesn't matter what he discards. Let's discard the Rampage. Alright, she's just going to skip a turn so that she can keep the End of Days for next turn. Because the End of Days could wipe out everything on the board, you know, and leave Citizen Dawn by herself, because she can't flip again. But we're going to ground pound. Discard both of these to save us another turn. And I can get Citizen Truth down to 1 hit point. Because I don't have to worry about the environment killing him. We've got a ground pound in play. He'll be at 1 hit point. Heal up a point because of Citizen Spring, but then I can still take him out. Yep, that's not going to do anything to us. We're skipping it entirely. Because Haka's ground pound, the plant life, wasn't able to target us. The T-Rex was too busy trying to keep his feet. And she's been merged as long as she could. We managed to survive that. We knew she was going to get out Citizen Spring. We do still have to discard because of Citizen Tears. Let's get rid of the Scorched Earth. We will get rid of the Demoralization. I could use End of Days next turn to wipe everything out. Let's get rid of Divine Sacrifice just in case. And he will get rid of Enduring Intercession. Alright, Dawn is vulnerable again, except for Citizen Truth makes her immune to damage, because she does have the Citizen keyword. So in order for us to hurt Dawn, I do have to get rid of Truth. And Ra is the person to do that. And now he can hit 5 targets. We're going to hit Dawn. It really doesn't matter who we hit, because if we use End of Days, they're all going away. 3 more targets. We can hit all 3 of the citizens. We may not need to waste the End of Days. I may just save that and get out her sword. Now, Drawn to the Flame will only do 1 point because I have the staff, but it'll do 1 point to everybody. Yeah, each non-hero target. So I'm actually going to use that. The Staff of Ra still makes it useful. And that will make it even more useful. Alright, I could do a Squall. That would take out Winter. And get Tears on the verge of falling. Well, that phrase didn't come out right, did it? But I think I'm better off letting him get some cards out. Or getting some cards drawn. Because I can take care of Tears with... Visionary, because I could do a hemorrhage, or Haka could take her out. So yeah, I can get out Mass Levitation instead to make sure the environment doesn't start killing us. She can get out Absolution. That'll heal her a little. And use Absolution to take out Spring, so that they won't be healing. And Haka can use Crush to deal with Tears. He'll be taking less damage now. So that just leaves Battery and Winter, a few damage dealers, basically. We've whittled them down, taken out the ones that were really crippling us, but we don't know what she's going to draw next. And the volcano is starting to erupt. The T-Rex goes after Visionary, but her decoy projection distracted it. Served its purpose. And Dawn does a devastating Aurora, saving us from the volcanic eruption at least, but getting rid of all of the setup we have just begun. Now that's the only other version she has. Alright, so this is going to hurt a little. But now you are in trouble, because we have imbued fire. Ra has had enough of this. Ra is going straight after Dawn, and he has imbued the rest of his allies with fire and increased fire damage. Tempest had his gene-bound shackles ready to inspire him when he did his flaming squall and took out Citizen Winter once and for all with some scorching rain. Visionary is giving them making the blood boil in their brain. Battery has fallen. Dawn is on the ropes. Who needs cards to play? She needs to enlighten someone. Haka. She needs to enlighten Haka so he can... Oh, there we go. We no longer need Savage Mana, so we're we're discarding that. Right now, it would be useful to build up a few to do a big hit, but that's not really necessary for him. All right, next turn, she's going to be able to control Dawn's plays. She is going to do a Prayer of Desperation. That allows her to draw 5 cards. So she will get some options. We just need to make it one more turn, depending on what the inhospitable island throws at us. And we should have this. He gets out his Taiaha. Gives Dawn a good smack with it. Imbued with flame from Ra. And some Velociraptors have come with this combat and all the blood and fire. And they're going after Fnatic. She's not looking that great now. Ah, yes, return with the Dawn. So all she's going to do is bring back one random thing. We are going to have you hit Ra. Yeah, you are angry that he just went all fire on us. And we have Citizen Truth. Makes her immune to damage. Great. Ra can deal with that. Let's see. Flame Spike. Alright, Ra will Scorch the Earth. It deals each non-hero target X fire damage, where X is the number of environment cards. There's 1. So he's going to do a point to Truth that way. He won't hurt Dawn, but he will drive off the try and drive off the Velociraptors. And then he is going to keep focusing on Truth. Because Dawn has bought herself another turn, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to get up some Shielding Winds. He can do a point to Truth and a little bit to the Velociraptors, continuing his squall, but Dawn is being protected by Citizen Truth. Okay, Visionary can make sure that Dawn is not screwing us over for next turn. The one that is the least threat to us is Spring. She does not deal damage. Yes. So let's move Spring. And since she's going to be bringing him back, one we do not want to come out is Tears. So we're going to put Tears on the bottom of the deck and Spring on the top. And we need some more options. Ra has got some good choices. You've got the Chain Lightning. Okay, she will enlighten herself and see if she can't find it within herself. There. That would shut down Return with the Dawn. We're going to get rid of demoralization. That's not really going to help us too much right now. I can now final dive Citizen Truth directly into Citizen Dawn. Yeah, Fanatic leaps forward, grabs him, and hurls him at Dawn. Now Dawn is vulnerable again for a turn. And next turn, well, Haka can't get rid of the Return with the Dawn, unfortunately. But I can get out Punish the Weak. Get rid of the Velociraptors. And Citizen Dawn will take a massive hit from him. Alright, we have a Pterodactyl Thief. I don't believe we're going to have to worry about it, apart from the fact that Punish the Weak makes it the lowest health target. Spring comes out. It's sad when the person with the highest hit points looks so wounded, isn't it? Alright, she's going to try and target Haka. Haka is the one really pounding on her right now. And she gets out Battery. That's fine. Battery went after Tempest. But it's not going to do you much good, because Ra has tasted blood and he wants more. Ra is going entirely against Dawn now. And Tempest, imbued with flame, with his shackles, might just be able to take her out. With a bolt of chain lightning? Oh yes. He hits Dawn, the Thief, and Battery. Spring's never really done us any wrong. And then his Squall will finish the match. So there we go. That was a really tough fight. Went back and forth a little bit, but it was really fun. And of course, I did not succeed at my original plan to prevent her from flipping at all, but it still worked out. But thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.